Let's go. Mic check. Go back to the occupied Wall Street days. Oh,
First of all, I just want to say thanks to you and Mike and everybody involved.
You can talk louder, let me talk.
I just want to say thank you to you, Mike, and everybody involved for making this.
thank you.
I just had a question in terms of like consciousness. Do you think that needs to evolve in like everyday people, but let alone like you said, like those in Hollywood, they're not really responding well to what you're trying to say, like bringing this to light in a mainstream setting? So do you think like it's a battle between like consciousness as a whole kind of like elevating? And like to me, I don't know, I guess this is like partially a statement, partially a question. But it's like a race against time, right? Like,
Indeed.
when is the consciousness on every single platform going to get to a level that exceeds, our needs?
Right, I mean, the system kind of cultivates the de-evolution of what we're talking about. Not coming at them with anger, because all of us, again, are victims, but I do think the consciousness is insane right now. And I think Gaza, editing this film with the backdrop of genocide, made it so much more urgent and dire, because I think it made it so everyone, it's so obvious, the ecocidal nature of the genocide. And I've met so many people who are climate scientists, who are environmentalists, or just who are studying this issue now. It's like over the last 4 years, this has exploded in the consciousness. And so things are really ratcheting up, and that's where our moment is now, to win. And this is just one tool in the arsenal to do it. Yeah.
Hi. So I
Made the film. Do a screening. I mean, put it out there. Bring it to city council. Bring it to service members. This is why I made it. This is why I spent 5 years doing it.
Greatest enemy
And this is the case. This is the case for it. We made the case. We did it. We calculated it. This is it. And again, it's not partisan, and it's reachable to anyone. And so if people maybe are sick of seeing protest signs, then reach them on a human level and say, hey, what's going on in your backyard? We're port land. We're shipping so much oil and gas from our ports, right? I mean, everyone's affected by this. The port workers, what is going on with Israeli weapons shipments here? All of these things are connected, and we really have to centralize and focus our efforts and find what is going on in our backyard, localize with that international lens. And this is one tool, again, to reach people.
Quick question just on the practicalities of what the
Sure.
economy has said. So I've got, social media friends, I've got friends that are in my little neighborhood in Northeast Portland, and I have a screening. I have a lovely little screen and laptop and projector and all that sort of stuff. What mechanisms are in place or that you need help developing so that we can do Zoom stuff with our folks, we can broadcast it out, if they're in the local school of amendments up in Northeast, maybe, get flyers together, say, hey, we're having a screening of, so what do you need, or what's either in place, or how can we help you
Thank
make
you.
that sort of happen, both sort of in practical sense
Yeah.
as well as having it seen where money is coming back into, recoup to pay for.
Thank you.
The,
No, of course, and I appreciate that. And that's kind of what I'm wondering right now. Like, I'm catching up with already how urgent and people are receiving this, because they know that they need to show it now and everyone needs to see it now. And the second we were finished with this, I was like, let's just start screening it. Like, we didn't sit on it for 1 second.
Yeah.
I need to redo the sound mix, because every time I watch it, I'm like, oh God, like I rushed through it for 3 days because I was like, this needs to fucking be seen. I worked on this for 5 years and it's crazy and all this stuff is going. So now that I'm seeing the reception and everyone's like, we gotta get this out, we don't have time, I'm right there with you. So let's get the resources out, let's get it out there. We're rushing to figure out how can we stabilize and recoup without just putting it out there for free yet. So I'm starting the directors toward generating interest, getting like the street team mobilized and all the cross-pollination of all these different groups activated and coalesced in the same room. And then once we drop it, hopefully on Earth Day, maybe is a good one. It seems like a long way from now. So I'm going every major city and trying to get the energy out there and get the buzz, because we don't have the resources to do it because I don't have a PR person or an agent or anything to do this. I'm doing it myself.
As an interested human being in Northeast Portland, is there
.com, I need your help. At every university, every city, and also starting next year, any group, anyone can screen it themselves. We're a nonprofit, so I think at the beginning we're going to ask for a small donation and then drop it for everyone to just let this baby fly soon. So yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, first of all, I just want to point out that this current administration is making it blatantly obvious who we are by changing the Department of Defense to the Department of War. But the other thing that I wanted to point out, which I think has happened in such a huge scale since you've made this movie in the past 5 years, is the way that Silicon Valley has really demonstrated itself as another huge sector of the military industrial complex, not the traditional one that we think of. And the way that it's actually even manifesting itself in a parallel track consistent with this is the way that the data centers through AI are having an impact, to the extent that now, even like in Morrow County, where Amazon data centers are changing the way that the water is getting polluted and affecting the county, such that Republicans are pushing back. And you've got the likes of rural areas. I think it was in Georgia, I think ProPublica just reported that that the data centers that are coming in, with Musk being, targeted, are you've got little chicken, people who have their hens that they're, trying to get eggs and all that, they're pushing back. The point being that we have to see the linkage of Silicon Valley in this whole picture, because again, the titans of capitalism linked to AI, drone warfare, all those elements that are shifting the way that we even distance ourselves from war that much more, and depersonalize whatever we're doing to destroy the planet, to not have air, water that we can drink that's safe, or foods that are safe to eat. That's just, to me, the more that you can add evil villains to this picture, you're gonna create a story that all people of all parties and persuasions will be upset with. This.
I don't even know if I could add anything. That was so beautifully put, and I think it really adds to the urgency of, again, the scale and the scope and the extension of empire and the folding in of Silicon Valley, the tech overlords. First it was kind of this bipartisan push of censorship and the algorithmic kind of takeover of our nature of our reality, siloing us off into these information spaces. But now it's really, really fundamental and foundational to the infrastructure of fascism and totalitarianism. And we're seeing the expedition of now data centers with the clean water and energy, as if AI already took over our brains. How did we already agree to this? It's absolutely insane. So I think, to your point, yes, this is the new crisis that we need to fold into. And there's no virtue signaling anymore. I remember when the Google CEO back during 2016, the Muslim ban, he was out protesting it. You see everyone folding in now to Trump because they don't care. It's masked off. So there's absolutely no pushback whatsoever. It is bipartisan. And it's very, very scary what we're entering into, and we need to wake up. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Ken, and I was on a nuclear submarine based in Pearl Harbor in 1968. So I recognized, Pearl Harbor. I'm sure it's a lot different now, but we were there. We were stationed there. I recognized Okinawa. I left the submarine in Okinawa, and they're changing Okinawa fundamentally, much more than when I was there. So this film is really important, I think. I'd like to make sure that it's filmed in into our public schools and our colleges broadly. I mean, it's a very powerful tool.
Thank you.
Are you working on that avenue?
Yes, yes, I do want to get it. Every person who is an academic or a professor or teacher says this is just, they're just like, okay, we're going to get it into this school, we're going to get it into that school. So I know that that's a whole facet of the distribution, is getting at the educational distribution, and we're taking it very seriously. It needs to be in curriculum of schools. But the question is, look at the political repression we're facing. I've already had it canceled at several venues for screenings at college institutions. So these, you know, academic institutions of higher learning, it's like, good God, how are we going to get this screen in high schools as we have this new fight against Marxist thought and indoctrination? I mean, they're literally like pulling federal funds. So again, it is so insane. I agree with you, the urgency, of course, good God. We need to fight this battle locally and get it in these schools locally.
I think one tool in your arsenal is working with the teachers unions, you know, like the Portland Association of Teachers and the other unions that deal with students. I think that would be an important opening to pursue.
Help us.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah.
Do it.
We can do that.
Do it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Tanya. Speaking of Portland's backyard, I live in Clark County, and I work with some groups that are trying to stop DNR from. So I'm not a part of it, but Legacy Forest Defense Coalition is the main Washington group that is the last defense in court about these sales. One that we were trying to.
I feel like I need to know more. I can't, like, I need to know more about it, you know? I definitely think, again, like organizing around, that's an insane issue, and I feel like everyone surrounding this forest, involved in the forest, would care about it if they knew and mobilize and like try to block, you know, show up with their bodies and stuff like that. It's just like they need the attention, they need something to mobilize around, like some sort of centralized hub. So I do want to help with that, but please contact me after. And I think because we have merch, posters, because I do want to meet more of you, and because you guys just sat through a fucking 2-hour movie, that was pretty insane. Probably want to drink, right? So let's do like 3 more questions, and then of course I'm around after. I'd love to hear from you, but I'll take stack. I'll just take a couple at once. Go ahead. Yeah.
Now.
Yeah. Okay. Now.
I'm Mog. I'm with Resist US-Led War Portland, but we're an international network of organizations and individuals that are united against the U.S. war machine in all of its forms. We organize against RIMPAC, and it's coming up again in 2026. We have allies in Hawaii who want to work with us and are going to work with us again. And we protest every year Fleet Week, which comes through, y'all probably know Fleet Week. Fuck Fleet Week. Fleet Week is when the Navy comes and docks their ships and recruits all of our poor kids into the military and takes over our city. And we protest that every year. And so if you're in an organization or you're just an individual and you're actually ready to like organize like regularly against the US war machine in Portland, come talk to us, because we're doing it every day. And we have a list for you to put your name and email on. And we could do like a screening, you know? Yes. We could do this as part of like a lead up to yeah, totally. Like we could use this, we could connect on this. So yeah, just come see us.
That's beautiful, yeah, and honestly, Code Pink, PSL, DSA, everyone here, like there's a reason why they're here. Please visit the booths, please get involved, please. We're all in this together, and I'd love to see all of you on the streets in Portland. You. Oh, hello, my friend.
Good to see you, my friend. This is the second time I've seen it. Such an amazing documentary, I had to come see it again. As I'm watching it, I just can't help but feel like, you know, as a Palestinian, we've been under occupation for a really long time, and it feels like the whole world's under occupation, including our ocean and sea life, after watching this. And one of the things I'm curious about is how do you reach, like, I feel like this type of stuff is definitely going to reach people who are on the left-leaning and so forth. How do we reach everyone else? Because I do feel like there are things in this that everyone can connect to, like Camp Lejeune, or, you know, especially people who claim to be pro-life, seeing all those dead babies. How do you, like, have you had success reaching people like that either don't believe in climate change at all, or maybe just not necessarily like on the political left. Just kind of curious what your thoughts are on how to reach more people, because I feel like it'll take that to get
Yeah, I mean, quickly, I will say yes. I mean, the thing is, Gaza almost feels like, even though I feel like it is the cornerstone of our collective liberation and it means everything and it's exposed everything and it's changed the world and me and everyone I know, it's still like, it's like either you get it or you don't. And I feel like people really need to be jarred into like, I don't know, being awake of what's going on and understand how how all of our resources are being robbed, how the Pentagon's a parasite, just vampiristically sucking every penny that we earn. And so I think, yes, we did toy with the idea of like trying to prove climate change, but it's like, look, at this point in history, I feel like that's a waste of time. If people disagree with that, there's plenty of other things in the documentary that people can take out, they can share, they can cut clips themselves, but that's, there's so many entry points. And yes, to answer more bluntly, I did have conservative family members, a naval officer, 20 years, who came to the screening that I was like shocked by in San Diego, and I was like, oh shit, hey cousin, what's up? And his whole family was there, and he was like, oh, my daughter's joining the Marines. And I was like, oh God, well enjoy the show. And afterward, and he was like, I don't agree with you politically, but I'm here to support you because. And then afterward, he was like, let's fucking go, dude. And he was like, he was pissed. He was shaking with anger. You can't be proud. You cannot be proud of being in this institution after watching that. And he certainly was not. And I've had active duty soldiers many times watch this. I was in North Carolina, Fayetteville, Raleigh, a lot of people who are in the military who are just like, this needs to be, I'm gonna contact my chain of command. I was like, hold on, I was just like, talk to me first. Don't just like go in there and cause a mutiny yet. We need to strategically plan for this. But no, I mean, it's transformative. I've even had people on the left say this has changed my life. Like finally crystallizing everything that I felt like I needed to know, things I didn't know that I needed to know. People who are totally apolitical. So again, similarly to Gaza Fights for Freedom, a lot of people toy around and do the both sidesing and try to do this general broad analysis. I'm an advocacy journalist, so I went balls to the fucking wall. This is what you see, this is what you get. And the thing is, it doesn't turn off people. It actually is opening to everyone because it shocks you. And that's maybe what we need right now. We need to be shocked. And we need to get awake. And so conservatives, liberals, they're killing us all. It doesn't matter who you are, what you believe in, what your religion is. And if you have kids, what planet are we leaving behind? We all drink the same water and breathe the same air. And that's where I start from. If you can't relate to that, then what are we doing? Who are we?
That's what I was thinking about, like the PFAS, all the contamination.
Yeah.
Like everyone, I know people on the political right who do believe, like they know that's affecting them and
Right.
all that stuff, right? So like there's something in this movie that everyone can connect.
Exactly. And take it and run with it.
Yeah.
Take it and run with it.
Love you, Abby. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my friend. Yeah, please give your pitch.
So we're starting a local chapter. Code Pink is a national anti-war organization that's been around for 23 years. Abby, thank you for setting the stage for our War is Not Green campaign. We're calling on environmental organizations to join us. Sierra Club alone has hundreds of thousands of members. They raise millions of dollars. So really, we need them to join the anti-war movement and make it one big movement. A lot of you got this flyer coming in, thanks to Nick. I don't know where you want to name.
Melanie.
Free Hawaii by the way. So if you could sign these petitions on the back of the flyer and send them to people you know in Sierra Club. Better yet, if you know organizers in Sierra Club, because I've been emailing them, they ignore me. But they should be the ones that are, leading this and holding panel discussions, showing the film, coming, bringing members, helping us advertise, educate. So calling on any environmental organization to join the anti-war movement and let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, and also Sierra Club has actually been pretty responsive in certain cities. They're sponsoring one in New Orleans, which is really exciting. They're kind of leading the pack on that, so they're reachable, surprisingly. And yeah, Greenpeace, World Wildlife Fund, I mean, all of these organizations, let's go to their offices, let's just show them. Yeah, maybe they don't know.
Yeah.
It's time for them to know. Okay, so let's take 2 more and then we'll wrap. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Yago. I'm with the International League of People's Struggle. I just, number one, want to say I really appreciate
So much for telling us about it. Okay, we'll do 1 more. Go ahead.
Yeah, Abby, it's an incredible documentary. I recommend.
I mean, of course, the Epstein files is something that's really crazy and horrific right now, and I think it's generating a lot of interest and splintering the right wing, and that's really great. And let them fight and let them do that. But I think that, environmentally speaking, I think there's so much more that billionaires are doing with these data centers that is so much more of like a rallying point that could be a big tent issue across political lines. Like to your point, I mean, the fact that like farmers and this is insane what is going on. So like, I think abstractly, yes, like that is a huge hypocritical point. The fact that fucking Donald Trump, our president, was the closest associate of the biggest pedophile, like child trafficker. Like, yeah, that's crazy, but he's still president. And like, the large amount of his base still knows that, and there's cognitive dissonance among that. So it's like, yeah, I don't know why that's not a breaking point. It should be. But I think this is like way more insane, that we can build a movement around opposing these data centers, opposing the environmental degradation and destruction of our communities right now. Because that is something that can motivate any living, breathing human being who's being poisoned as we speak. But of course, might as well drop a little bit of the Epstein stuff in there while we're organizing, right? Thank you so much. I mean, all of it's connected, right? Yeah. And they've wanted us to focus on paper straws, and look, I'm a militant composter. Nothing gets past me. Don't even try. But that doesn't mean that I can't broaden the perspective and understand who's done this, that it's not us, and it's not driving a Tesla or drinking a paper straw. So again, we need to really broaden the scope here, but it doesn't mean that we can't stop doing the things that we need to do, right? But holy shit, we need to start organizing, and we need to move quickly.